Okay, so before this session, I asked you some questions, right? What do you want to focus on and this kind of stuff? And you told me, like, you basically told me that you feel like you are like jungling even without even really knowing how to jungle. That kind of how it sounded like. Is that did I understand that correctly or?
Yeah, you're definitely right. So I started playing jungle just this season. I mained
Okay.
Ekko for like 5 seasons probably, but I only played in mid or whenever he came out. So I played in mid only. And I just wasn't winning any games. Like I was just stuck in like plat for the entire season.
Hmm.
And then I switched to jungle because like one of my high elo friends was like just playing jungle, like you're not good at mid. I was like, cool. So I did that, and honestly, like I didn't play jungle before that, so I don't really know very much about jungle. But I think just through like knowing a bit about Echo, I was able to just win games like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like reaching Diamond 3 without actually knowing how to jungle is pretty good, I would say. So, definitely quite nice to see. And another thing I guess you wanted to focus on is like the growth mindset, which I think is interesting. And I mean, obviously, in like a coaching session like this, we can't go too much into that. But I think one really nice thing I heard about that recently was from Midbeast, where he said, like, he just said, I can't lose. Either I win or I learn. And I feel like that's something like I personally have really struggled taking that in up until this point. But when I'm coming back from my league break, I will definitely make sure to play with that mantra because it is like so strong, right? Like if you actually manage to, man, I'm looking for the word, but like you know what I mean, right? Like if you really play like it, then I think you'll just have a much better mental. I mean, I don't know if your mental you feel like it's bad or anything, but it's like you actually can't lose if you have that kind of mindset. So I think that's definitely something. And then another thing is like the communication and the decision making in solo queue. Which part are you more interested in there, like the communication or the decision making? I feel like I should probably split that up because it's two
Yeah,
very different things.
sorry, it was more about the decision
Okay,
making.
yeah.
Yeah,
Although I think that communication, at least especially with a lot of lower elo players I coach, is definitely an underrated problem, I guess, or like a thing that needs to be improved on because communication just makes solo queue so much easier, right? Like being good with your pings and this kind of stuff, it's definitely very useful. So I guess we can go into your OPGG. Also, since this is a 1 hour session, we only have time for either a game review or a live game. Which one do you prefer?
I probably work better with live game. That's
Mm-hmm.
the only type of coaching I've had before.
Yeah.
So I would probably just go with that one.
Yeah, I think for your elo, it definitely makes sense because especially camera movement and this kind of stuff is for sure something that is important from like your journey from like diamond to master. Being like, I need to see if you're actually getting all the info that you need to be getting and this kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely makes sense. But also like, of course, if you feel like maybe you don't you might perform differently than you normally would, then of course also game reviews not a bad idea. So what I noticed from your OPGG is, I guess, your stats are looking fine. Like they are looking fine. Of course, stats could always be a little bit lower. Farm could be higher, although there are really good Echo players that have like even lower average farm than this. So this is not like the main thing. Um, I guess I also like that you seem to have just picked a setup and then like you don't switch your setup, right? It doesn't seem like it. I haven't scrolled down too
Nah.
far, but yeah, I think that's good. I guess Futures Market, in my opinion, is still better than Cosmic Insight, but Cosmic Insight is probably pretty even at this point with Futures Market after it got nerfed. So, yeah, I've been say I actually made a video about that yesterday. It's like I think really just having one setup and learning the limits with that is so valuable for climbing. Like it makes climbing so much easier. So definitely doing right in that regard. Mm, do you build Zonias very frequently? Not too frequently. I mean, in this game, for example, I think against Rengar, Kha'Zix, these kind of champs, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
In these kind of games, I personally wouldn't build it, but it's definitely not like a horrible item. And at least you build it after Rabadons, right? It seems like.
Yeah. I would never build Zonias first. Like I make sure to
Mhm.
hit the Rabadon first.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you build it a bit more often than me, but maybe I personally also also don't build it often enough. Okay, I mean, so in the OPGG, there's nothing that's like problematic or anything. One thing I really saw in the League of Graphs though is like a really really big thing, and that's probably like your biggest weakness, honestly. Your first item purchase time, like this needs to be much lower. Like this is, it just basically probably means that you don't go base, like you don't go base efficiently.
Yeah,
Do you feel
yeah,
like
I
that's the
don't.
case?
I definitely don't base correctly.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
such a big thing.
I think one thing that I know that I do is I'm a really big like early game player, even though Echo is not really the best in the early game.
It's fine.
Um, and yeah, I think because of that, I don't base very often when I should in the early game.
Yeah. And I feel like that's why all of these graphs are kind of negative because you need to have good efficient base timings to even have a nice upward curve here, you know. So
Yeah,
because you know like it affects everything. Having more gold spent means you'll be able to generate more gold because you clear camps quicker. You are able to get more kills and all of this stuff, right? It really ties in together. So that's definitely something I'll have a big look out for sure. I think, and that's for sure something that just stems from the fact that you haven't really played jungle long enough, I guess.
yeah, that's definitely a big part.
Let me just see. I guess I mean, it also says no control words. I think control words like there's a lot of elitist players that always say like, you don't need to buy control words. I'm challenger. I never bought a control word in my life. But I think like just buy one like after you have your rocket belt completed, and then maybe buy another one every objective or whatever. But like, it's definitely this is like a super easy thing to improve. I guess you know you really just need to right click on the control word, but there is definitely merit to not buying too many control words, especially on carry champs like Ekko for sure. So yeah, this is what I said, right? Like the pings, I feel like especially the on my way ping, you can see that like the average diamond or master player that they use it almost twice as much as you, and especially as a jungler, I feel like you're kind of setting the tone for the game, so you need to tell your team what you're planning to do, right? Like you need to tell your team, let's say, I'm on my way to do Herald or whatever, and then in like I think in Diamond people realize that that usually means that they maybe need to shove in their wave and this kind of stuff, you know. So
Right.
communication is definitely underrated. I think it's something people don't focus on a lot because it's like obviously there's more important stuff, but I think it's also another thing that's so easy to improve, you know. Just get into the habit of telling your team what you want to do, I guess, and then also of course like these get back pings and whatever. If you have like because as a jungler, it's you have been a laner for a long time, right? As a jungler, it's 10 times easier to look at the minimap all the time, right? Because you're playing PVE basically for a lot of the game. So just be also being a bit more aware and then like telling your team where like the enemy jungle is, for example, and this kind of stuff, and just keeping a bit more track of that is very very helpful. It's not like the biggest thing, of course, but it's another one of those things that's not too difficult to implement in your gameplay. And then in your patterns, I saw that you don't surrender a lot, which is definitely good. And also this is quite good, right? Your win rate when you're plus 2 kills. So it seems like when you get that snowball going, it usually goes in your favor, which should be the case with Ekko generally. Well, this is definitely interesting though. Seems like you're also struggling a little bit in the... never mind, you're not actually struggling. It's still positive, never mind. Yeah, okay, that's good. I guess you're struggling if the early game goes really horribly, then you lose the game by 20 minutes, but I mean...
Every time.
Okay. Wait, so you feel like you can't really play from behind at all, or?
I'm really bad at playing from behind.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, right, like I do a lot of early game type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And because I feel like the game kind of gets decided during that, that's why you'll see like a lot of early games of like either we surrender or we lose.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you'll see the game go on, and we usually do end up winning. That's
What happened
very,
in
very.
this game, man? It's like a 37-minute game and you had 0 kills. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I
But do
remember.
you feel like okay? But do you feel like it's because of tilt, or you just like don't know what to do? Like, do you even tilt? I obviously don't know.
Nah, I'm not really a tilting type of player. Like I will always
Mm.
play. Like I think you can see the fact that I'm going like 0-12,
Yeah,
but
that's
having
crazy.
assists. Like I am actually playing the game.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is like everyone else is kind of tilted, and people will stop kind of playing the game, and like people kind of given up, and I'm probably just still trying. So that's
Mm.
when that kind of happens.
Okay. I mean, yes, of course, Ekko is not a great champ from behind, but at the same time, I feel like Ekko is a champ that, especially if you manage to scale into those like later game, like in a 37-minute game, like let's see, what are your items in this game? Of course, you had like actually no kills, so uh, and like these games, I mean, with 2 items, you usually can get kills on squishy targets. Of course, most of the time not on your own, but it's like, do you maybe sometimes leave kill? Like it's, here, you have Rabadons completed, so you should be able to kill these squishy targets, in my opinion. At least the Zeraf and the Drin. Sure, if they actually position well, they're not that easy to kill, but okay, I mean, this guy probably one-shot you the whole time when you wanted to do something to him, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing I've realized is like, because I am someone that is kind of prone to tilting for sure, so it's like, I gave up too many games that I for sure could have won just by staying calm and like understanding that as soon as you hit your item spikes, even if you're a little bit behind, Ekko scales better than most champs in the game, and even with 2 items at like let's say 20 minutes or 25 minutes, which is not good, you can still get kills oftentimes if you just play patiently and this kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean that's definitely also something that it's kind of hard to just improve on from like looking at stats and whatever, of course, and like actually giving you advice because I don't know what exactly is the problem, but it's definitely good that tilt is not a problem because that's probably the most difficult one to fix. So yeah, I guess you can just go in game then, share your screen, and we'll have a look.
Well, let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see.
All right, cool.
Okay. So I guess what do you usually ban?
I banned Jarvan. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I've just not had great games against Jarvan.
I
So I
think
just
Jarvan is still quite OP. Let me actually see. I don't know. Is he still broken, or did he get nerfed?
I don't know because he gets banned every game, so he doesn't get the chance to be.
Yeah. Okay, he's still broken, I think. Oh well, actually not. Wait, did he get nerfed this patch? Yeah, he must have gotten nerfed. His win rate dropped by 3% in Master Plus. So I think it's like a matchup that even when he was OP, like I personally still didn't ban him because I think Ekko can deal with him quite well, and he also outscales him, you know. So it's like
Okay.
champions that like look like Jarvan, for example. What kind of champions struggle against Jarvan? Mages, for example, they really struggle because they can't get out of his ult. Ekko is not one of those champions, right? Ekko can get out of the ult, and then also the EQ is like the important spell to dodge as against Jarvan, and Ekko is also quite good at that, right? You really just need to have the reactions, which is usually not that difficult. And then you can oftentimes beat him up, even, you know, like especially if you're a little bit ahead, you actually win. So yeah, I think I personally like. Let me actually look at your League of Graphs again. I think you had some matchups that weren't really going too well for you. Yeah, like the Viego matchup you actually struggled with. I wouldn't ban Viego. Okay, I mean, Jarvan matchup you also have 20% win rate in 10 games. Well, Lee Sin matchup, yeah. It seems like you struggle against a lot of these early game junglers. I mean, Viego is not really one of them, but the other one's definitely noticeable. I guess it's because, as you told me, right, you like playing in the early game really aggressively, and then when you match it up against a champ that's just naturally stronger early, you probably just don't respect it enough, is my guess.
Yeah, no, that is it. And like, you know, good players, I feel like they try to invade you a lot when you're playing Ekko.
Mm-hmm.
And I I probably don't respect it. Like I want to fight back. I'm like, nah, you're not taking
I
that.
I think you often can actually. It's like a lower elo players than you, like the gold and like below players, that they often tell me about like how they get invaded and whatever. And usually, I think especially in these elos, people don't go for actually good invades. So it's like you can often fight back, and you just need to stay calm, ping for your team to come, like throw a bunch of Qs at them and whatever. Just like stall. Like Ekko is not a champ that gets caught very easily, you know. So oftentimes when people actually go for invades, you can fight back for sure, even if it's like strong early junglers. Just make sure that you don't get hit by their abilities, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean this game definitely not an amazing team comp on your side here. Like you always go green smite, right? I saw. Or
Yeah, I rarely go blue. blue smite, but I only play green or blue. I've never
Okay.
actually played the red one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like I personally probably would go red here because your team is quite low on CC. But you don't need to. I think Green Smite is also actually pretty good. Let's see what their last pick is, I guess. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, this is actually a red smite game just because your team is so low on CC and there's a bunch of champs, or at least the Wukong is a champ that you would definitely like to have that little bit of extra power to be able to kill him. And then like champs like Zeri and Victor, they have quite a lot of movement speed, so being able to slow them down is definitely not bad. But like, I don't want you to play with a smite you've never played with now.
Yeah, I don't
Just
even know what the red smite does. I'll be so
it,
honest with you.
it slows when you deal damage for
Okay.
like 2 seconds, and that's why it's good when your team is quite low on CC. And it also deals some like 4% true damage, so it's actually also good against tankier comps in general, you know. But like
Okay.
Wukong, for example, is a champ that's just like he plays Conqueror and this, so he's probably gonna win in most fights, even when you're a little bit ahead. So the Red Smite really helps in being able to just win those fights when you're ahead, you know, like in actually winning them. Oh, you don't have Blitz, I think definitely, or like a jungle time wrap. I think that I didn't ask that, my bad. Definitely
Yeah,
something
no
I
worries.
can recommend to you as well, especially because you're kind of new to jungling. It's like it's gonna take away so much brain power for you. Really, like so much less you need to worry about when you have those jungle timers.
Yeah, like my jungle partner is like it's not normal. Let's
Where
say it
where do
like
you
that.
start? Like what do you do? I guess do you full clear?
I no, I never fall clear.
Okay,
I
but
normally start Raptors,
okay,
and I'll go like I saw you do like the golems, like this one, right?
yeah.
I still just do the red, then golems, and then I try to gank bot most of the time. If it's really not there, like my team is pushing in, but I'll just
Okay, you
cave and
should be
cast
doing
bot.
red third though. You should be doing red third though. There's no reason not to because you can still go bot. You know, after the red, like you're not in a position where you can't go bot. So
Okay, I'll do
it
that
just
next time
makes
then.
the sequencing better, you know, because your raptors and crocs will just be spawning together, basically sequenced, you know, for the next time.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try that now then.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
do you
it's
smite
not
the
difficult. Smite the
cool.
crocs. Smite
Yeah, yeah.
the big croc. Yeah, so I will like I will also give you a little bit more active advice, I guess, during this game, right? And not just because since we don't have time for a game review.
Cool.
Okay, you also didn't buy the potion, which I think is oh, you popped the potion. Wait,
Oh
why did
yeah,
what?
I popped it.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I think it's because I always fight, so I'm generally just like I
But like,
pop it like
just no,
straight
but
away.
just don't do it while you're clearing jungle. You're literally just throwing away 50 gold, man. Just do it while before you decide. Like, see, like for example, now, did you already decide that you want to go bot or what?
No, I kind of just popped it like instinctively.
Okay, I mean, stop doing that. I guess just pop it before you go for a gank. You know.
Okay, yeah,
For
yeah,
example,
that makes
here I
sense.
don't think you can gank anywhere. You just recall and buy a dark seal here. I mean, you
Yeah,
could maybe look mid, but probably not. Like, I think just recalling here is definitely the safest play. And then look top, definitely look top and see, yeah, see like top, for example, looking super free here. If he doesn't get out of this lane.
is it bad to take Oracle Lens here? 'Cause I usually just do like from the start.
Uh, what, again? Starting at
Oracle
Wolves?
Lens.
I think that's fine. I usually like keeping the sweeper for a little bit longer, but, the trinket, I mean. But it's
Okay,
okay. Like, there's people that like doing red trinket right away, and others that have the yellow trinket for a long time. It's kind of preference. In my opinion, it's like the more likely you are to get invaded, the longer I like to keep the the yellow trinket. Again, like do the grump first, you know, next time, because it's the same thing with the sequencing. You just want the grump and the wolves to spawn as
it's fun
close
at
as
the
possible
same
together
time.
for the second time, you know.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I do remember those kind of things, but not very like often. Like sometimes
Smite
I
the crab
forget
here.
about them.
Smite the crab. So yeah, because, especially because you want to not fuck up the timing even more with the grump.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these are the kind of jungling basics I guess you're just missing because you haven't played jungle for long enough. And like actually this is something that I also only started implementing this season. Because they're like smaller improvements, but they do definitely matter. You know, over the course of a whole game, this kind of stuff definitely does matter. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
top's definitely gankable here. We'll probably go through the river though, the way this wave is situated. Eing over here is a little bit risky, like not risky, but like, go from behind, like from the right. Yeah. Just ping your E, for example. Here, I would ping my E so that the Vayne. Oh, there's
Oh,
a
good
Wukong
point.
here. Yeah, I guess just leave. Honestly, yeah, I think he W'd. I think if you were a little bit more decisive, you probably could have gotten a gank off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess just go back to jungling. Okay, I mean the LB is still in base. If you're really nice here, you could have pulled the wave for her.
What's
I
that?
guess now it's too late.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time I'm quite undecisive as well. Like, I just don't want to force anything, and at the same time, like,
At the
I
same time, you do want to force because you want to be
yeah,
active early. No, but like,
yeah,
yeah, just be decisive. Then it's very important, honestly. And like, yes, you might make mistakes, even being decisive and whatever, of course. But that's the kind of stuff you just need to learn from. And
yeah,
it's definitely better than being indecisive and not doing anything. I think here, just like either look for a play mid now or just recall. You still have some time, I guess, especially because your Grump isn't spawning. Definitely sweep here. Yeah. Okay, it's warded, so definitely look bot, I guess. See if they're maybe not respecting or if they're low, and I would personally just recall here. You have enough for a nice blasting wand, and then just go to your top side. Grump, like this is where Blitz would be really helpful to know when the Grump exactly is spawning.
yeah. And obviously, because I didn't do it straight away, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep looking top, you know? I mean, I think top is the most likely gankable lane here at this point. So just see if there's a dive opportunity there. See, like, the way the Vayne is moving, I guess LB is dead anyways. Yeah, there's no wave to catch, so just, like, look top. Like, really look top. We see the Vayne being under the tower there the whole time, so we need to assume that the Victor is quite low here. He
Yeah,
probably got base now. So see, like this, for example, if you had looked there, and saw that he's 1 HP, just ping that you're on your way, and the Vayne will probably keep him in lane, you know? But
yeah.
now she didn't know that you would be like willing to help her. Yeah, why are you going there? There's nothing really. Okay, I guess. Yeah, maybe help the Vayne. Yeah, or look. Yeah, okay, she's able to do it on her own. That's good. Yeah, that's a good invade. Oh, she executed them. I mean, that's pretty good for you. Bot side crab is up as well here, so just go there now. I think invading any deeper is definitely not available to you here. Is he pinging you or is he pinging just missing?
That's still XP
Uh,
and in my
okay,
lane.
like just mute that guy. What a clown. Oh.
If I get that
Yeah,
against
just
it,
play it slow, just play it slow. You'll get it. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, the only target you can really kill there
not probably.
is not because of exactly what happened. Basically, right, the Zeri just slided away. So,
See, like, I feel like doing Drake here is a good idea, but would you say no?
yeah, I guess so because the Zeri is forced out of lane. Mid, of course, you don't really have prio, but like this, for example, here, like ping for your team to help. Like they need to shove in bottom, they need to move. You can fight the Wukong probably. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Just keep doing Drake now. Or like, I mean, let's see if the fight, of course. Keep fighting.
Oh, that's a lot of damage for that.
Yeah. For example, now I think recall. Like recall.
Okay.
Spend
And
your gold.
reset. What? bot to
Yeah.
top.
It's a difficult one, I guess. Yeah, I think so. I think you should bot to top here, like just clear towards the Herald. Like, it could also be correct to just do Herald right away. I'm not sure, but I think since you haven't cleared your bot side here, just go bot to top, yeah. And you're playing Ekko, you know, like with some junglers, I'm pretty sure you would just run to the Herald right away, but Ekko is definitely a pretty gold reliant jungler, so you need to clear your camps as well. In my opinion, at least, of course. As I'm saying, there's definitely Ekko jungle players that like not clearing their jungle too much, but I don't know. I think it's much less consistent. By the way, like, you should be clearing these small ones with your Q. Like, don't waste your auto attacks. See how long it took you there, and you even had your Q up in that situation.
Yeah.
Can definitely be more efficient. I don't even think you necessarily should have showed mid here, honestly. Like, again, first of all, you fucked up your sequencing a tiny bit here by just spending those extra 10 seconds mid. And then also, of course, you're telling everyone on the map that you're not, like, in their lane or whatever, right? You're just basically showing mid for 2 minions, which I personally think is just not worth generally.
Yeah.
Definitely look bot here, see, since you're already around, see if they're low. Yeah, I mean, Zeri is probably diveable if your team wants to. Just make sure that it, like, yeah, see if it's warded or not, and then, yeah, like, go from the Tribush, though. Just see if it's warded, and then... You see, it's not. Just go. Nice. Where did you flash?
Hit me. Cool. Yeah, I flashed the Vex. Like, I thought she was just gonna use an ability straight away.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of the same as with the potion, right? You're just assuming things, but instead you could also just do it as a reaction. Which, like, I mean, especially Vex abilities, they're not that quick, right? Like, the ult, I'm sure you can flash that as a, like, with a reaction. I think now you could have also bought a control board.
Oh, yeah.
Not a big deal, though. I guess definitely check the Herald. We haven't seen Wukong for a long time. The plan should also be up to check for her. And then if it's, like, if he's not on it, just, I think you can do it here. Oh, he is. Maybe ping for help here, so when... She doesn't give a fuck. Alright. Yeah, I mean...
I don't know, our mid laner is a bit far away here, so I don't know what's gonna...
I think you can maybe just try to steal it, like the Wukong doesn't seem too interested in fighting you anyways. So... I think he should just be all in you here right now. Oh, nice. W somewhere as well. You have Rocket Belt? E, we'll kill him.
If I leveled up my E there, that would have...
Yeah, I think the big thing was also just not using your W early enough, but it was still good overall. You got the Herald, you even got the kills, so it's definitely very good. Yeah, definitely buy the boots here, the Sorks. It's a really big power spike. Sometimes I even started buying them before my Rocket Belt completion, and it has felt pretty good.
Yeah, I have done that before, to be fair. It's normally
I buy control board as well. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, I normally buy the boots if, like, you know, like, the gold is right, as in, like, you can't get the proto belt. I mean,
yeah, that's also what I've been like. I never used to do that because I didn't think it was that good, but I think it is, like, especially when you're ahead a little bit. I think I go to the crab first here.
Okay.
And then just jungle down, like, just take your time now. You have done a lot now, you got the objectives and whatever. I guess you need to place your Herald though. It's already minute 13, so yeah, I guess just place it mid and then go to your jungle. What Drake is the next one? Okay, Ocean. So it's actually gonna be a good soul as well, probably. Started blue. Blue, Grump, Wolves, and then just, like, Raptors, Crocs, and, like, always look, of course, if there's an opportunity. Definitely something I can also already tell is, like, yeah, you need to look at lanes more often, like, more actively. especially when you just get into the habit of like looking at lanes after every couple of auto attacks in the jungle.
Yeah.
Just look at the minimap and then see if there's a really low HP target. I mean, if he stays here, you'll just kill him. Yeah, just E-rocket belt on him. You have with the Dark Harvest. He doesn't respect. Just shove in the wave as well. Yeah, and just go back to your jungle. I guess, do we see Wukong anywhere? You could check for the Raptors as well, like his Raptors, if they're up. And place your controller here. Oh, okay. Okay, I mean, they won't be up. Oh, okay. Ah, I actually hit that. Yeah, just... I mean... Yeah, like, for example, this you should just have the game sense to understand that he's probably not going to be that greedy to actually stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just go into your bot set now, actually. Don't even clear your wolves because of the sequencing. Just clear your whole bot set and then maybe look to the Drake. Or get the... Yeah, I mean, no, your bot lane is recalling, so yeah, just clear and then do Drake when they're back. Or go base before as well, depending on what happens, I guess, in mid. Again, I think you can still do the... Especially in situations like these where you're probably not going to go bot in the next couple of seconds, you should still be doing Crux before the red.
Okay.
Like, yeah, sometimes you should maybe be doing red because you might want to move right away and then it's better to have the red buff, but in situations like these where you're probably not gonna move anywhere, then just for better sequencing. But of course, the more items you have, the less important it is because you clear the camp so fast anyways. Okay, skill your E as well. You never skill with control?
What did you say?
You can skill with like control, right? With control E, control Q.
Oh, like
The button.
Leveling up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do, but I don't know. Probably just because like...
Yeah, get into the habit of doing that more often. Like, especially here, you just didn't have the E in the fight, and it's such a simple thing to do as well. Yeah, definitely ping to do Drake here, and then do it. I mean, your Vayne is putting up a lot of pressure on top and stuff anyway, so I don't think they can... Oh, they're actually there, though.
Gosh.
It's a 3v2, though, and they're not even full. Should be winning this. Okay, I think like this was fine, but I think next time definitely go from the river, you know, and then you would have caught the Vex as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes I don't actually know where to go in like instances.
Generally, you want to just cut off the way, like cut off the exit of the enemies, and that's generally just through the river, you know, because it's just walking in from behind. So there's like specific situations where you maybe don't want to go through the river. Generally, of course, when you know that it's warded, for example, but it's like, or when you want to go for a lane gank. But in these situations, always just go through the river. Oh, nice. I don't know if you could have killed the Nautilus there as well. It was like the stream quality was a little bit low. Let me actually see if I can fix it.
A bit of a blunder from me.
Yeah, do you have enough for Lichpin here? Yeah, you have. But it still clear this because you're already here. And yeah, actually go bot. Let's see if you... Just... I think this is very good what you just did there. The fact that you didn't throw your Q and like...
I was contemplating it, trust me.
No, but it's good. Like, it's very good in these situations to just walk up to enemies and like don't even give them any chance, you know? Like, just make the safe play, and that's a good habit already. Like, it's definitely nice. The fact that you did that. Because if you can walk up to enemies and you don't need to hit the Q like to reach them or whatever, then it's generally good. I think actually go invade this blue here as well after you're done fighting mid. Yeah, at this point you need to make sure that the Wukong is completely out of game. Or yeah, I guess get the Herald, see if there's anything up here. Oh,
He
Wukong
just
is on
got
the Herald. Okay, just get his blue now, get his blue. Well, yeah, okay, kill him. Probably better.
perfectly gone.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take the if it's here.
Yeah, take it, and then I think just recall or see if you need to help top. I guess the Vayne is just 1v3ing them. Fucking Goso on your team here, damn.
Well done.
This is definitely a good time to base. You have the Lichbane completion, and then you can buy Needle Sea Lord Troll or Madras, depending on how confident you're feeling. Who are you playing? I mean, this game is such a winning game, yeah, just buy the Madras. I think definitely I'm personally someone that buys Madras too often, and like it has lost me too many games, but overall I can respect it for sure. And it is a game where getting kills should be so free.
Yeah, I buy Medjai's not that much, but like you know when it goes down to like you don't have that many stacks. Like right now we've got 10 stacks, but like oh she stole my blue. If sometimes I got like 5 stacks and I don't know whether to buy it or not.
Nah, I think generally just buy it at 10. Like, really just buy it at 10, and also when you feel like you're in a good position to not die, you know? Because Rabadon's, of course, is, first of all, it's more consistent, and then also it's generally just a bigger power spike, you know? Also, I think, for example, I've realized I think you shouldn't buy Magi's if you're already onto buying Rabadons most of the time, you know? Because Rabadons is just always going to be a bigger power spike. And the Magi's you just need to stack first as well, and you have the downside of course, you're losing all the stacks if you're dying. So, and especially if you have Lichbane already, then you don't really need the movement speed either, so... Yeah, I think there's too many downsides to Magi's, and like the upside is not... It's not even like you feel Omega powerful most of the time when you have it. Like, sure, if you actually have it fully stacked and whatever, yeah, but like... I think, for example, the difference of having a Magi stacked with Rabadons and not having it stacked, or like, yeah, not having Magi's and still having Rabadons is not even that big. You can still one-shot most targets even without the Magi's. A very solid game. I think your Ekko is definitely very, very solid. For sure, I think Master is like... Mechanically, Master is for sure reachable for you, I would say. I mean, we didn't really see too many... Of course, like... Okay, this game, of course, it was kind of easy to play for you because you got into the game and then, like... also, the enemies are not super difficult to play into or whatever. And then, like, playing actual late game is, of course, another skill. But overall, I think you're very controlled with how you use your abilities and this kind of stuff, so that's very good to see.
Yeah.
I guess what I definitely will show you is just like the jungle clearing. That's definitely something that can be much more efficient. And then what else? I think one thing I noticed, which of course I can show you, is just like the... Okay, thank God. It's like you don't look at the lanes enough, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, I don't.
That's just a habit. Like, yeah, I sometimes when I get lazy or whatever, I also don't look there enough. But that's also the games that I usually lose, you know. So it's like it's really important. You just need to get all the info, and then I think actually also something I didn't even think about up to this point. I think pressing tab, like you need to press tab more often as well.
What is that for? Is that to see like the enemy's like items and stuff?
Everything is like for getting all the info. Yeah, like items, shutdowns, levels, CS as well as a jungler, especially if you really like. I don't even think you need to worry about that too much, like tracking the enemy jungle, but like you can, right? Like knowing every camp gives 4 CS, right? Clearing a single camp gives 4 CS, so you can get info on which camps are actually cleared by the enemy jungle, you know, by that.
Yeah.
But that's not like the most important thing to really worry about, in my opinion. Just know, right? Like, just know that 4 CS are a camp, so it's like, what, 24... If someone has 24 CS, it means they cleared their whole jungle. But like, usually you only really keep track of that for the first buff, for the first clear enemies. Sorry, I wasn't even sharing my screen. Okay. Okay, so... Yeah, okay, like, as well with like the health potion, like, really no reason to ever, use it, right?
Bad
And
habit.
then
I will stop.
yeah, definitely like just use it when you go for ganks. I think it's good to use it usually because you don't really want to be half HP when you're ganking, especially on bot lane. But like don't randomly use it when you're not even looking to gank. It's literally 50 gold down the drain. At that point, like don't even buy it anymore. Like there's enough people that don't buy it.
Okay.
So yeah. Here, like the Raptors you cleared correctly, I guess. Like the main thing you can do wrong here is auto-attacking the small ones. I think you just need to attack the big ones, or the big one.
Yeah.
And then I think now you can already start kiting. And then here, like the biggest mistake I guess you did with the Raptors is just clearing or auto-attacking the small ones. You know, this is why we save Smite for it, so you can see in a second here, like the way that these Raptors will split up. They will split up kind of together here, and then you can already start walking, just throw your Q back. And then, I don't know why it always misses one, but like, if you do it correctly, you should be getting 8 CS here. Let's see if I still get level 3. If you only miss one, you still get level 3. If you miss both, then you're actually kind of fucked and you...
I actually realized that you cleared those crab rocky things a lot better than I do, because you kite the big one, and I normally kite the small one. Because I'm
yeah.
like, I think it's because I'm trying to like posture towards bot, always like for the gank. So I move.
But see, like, this is why we just end up here, you know? And then here we can decide to either go mid or bot. And it's like, it's not slower, you know? Like, if you end up here or here, it's like literally the same distance to...
Distance.
It's even a little bit better, I would say, probably. Because here sometimes when the enemies are like really, really pushed up, they might even spot you because you're walking here, you know? That can never happen when you're just walking through here. So I think that it's just genuinely always better. And then I guess one thing we also didn't really see you do this game too much is just like general rocket belt combos. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Like, do you feel like you do rocket belt combos well?
Yeah, so I think I'm good at rocket belt combos when I like it's kind of very situational. Like I can do yeah, so like I can do all the rocket belt combos, but I don't do them in every circumstance. I think I just hold my ability very long.
I think the important thing with rocket belt or to realize is like there's two auto attack resets in Ekko's kit, right? The E you can use as an auto attack reset. So especially if you play Lichbane, that's really important, and then the rocket belt as well, you know. So that's why the combo is quick, right? Because it has the rocket belt reset. So you can just proc the passive really quickly like this. And the way you use it, like, this is like the standard combo, I guess, if you just want to one-shot someone. But there will also be situations where you maybe, let's say, you do like this, right? Like you just don't use your E, or like just use the fact that it has an auto attack reset. It doesn't matter how exactly you do it. I think that's the important takeaway.
I think the one that I do a lot is the pro belt with the auto attack reset, because I like to save the E so that I can like get onto like the back line. So you get like the you proc your passive, and then you've got the movement speed to actually get to the back line, and also like E onto them as well. I find that like really broken in team fights.
Yeah, that's really good. And in general, also not just that, also for often holding your E can get really rewarded because sometimes people will flash away or whatever, and then you can just still follow them. Yeah, that's definitely a really good habit.
When you follow them. That's the crazy one.
And like even people in Master or whatever, they don't think about that. They will still flash away, and then you just follow them, and they must feel like absolute idiots, you know? Because also, oftentimes, especially in the late game, right, it's a 5-second cooldown. You will be able to chase people down no matter what. So, yeah, like people flash in very weird ways. I guess another thing is, right, like the jungle timers. Just like install Blitz right now, I guess. I think that there's no reason not to have jungle timers.
What's it called? Blitz?
Blitz, yeah. You don't even need to set up any... Don't you have Professor? I think I saw you have Professor.
Like I used to have that.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I think I took it off because it gave me some ads or something. It was really annoying me.
Oh, okay. I mean, just don't let it annoy you.
I didn't use it. Like, I don't even know why I had it because I never used whatever it told me.
Okay. I mean, it's definitely useful.
For like stats? For like
No, it's also for jungle timers. I mean, yeah,
Oh, okay.
it does that as well. It does that, like Blitz and Professor, they both do that as well. But the important thing for us junglers is definitely, or like the most important is the jungle timers. Just
Alright,
like,
I've just downloaded Blitz, so I'll see how that
yeah,
works.
it's definitely gonna be helpful to you. Is there anything else? I mean, we don't really have time to go through the game. That's why I'm just thinking. So I guess just recapping, the main points for you are definitely gonna be just the looking at lanes and whatever. Then like pressing tab, right? Like as I said, just look at all the items. Why would you not get information that you could be getting? And then what else was there? I already forgot. I'm sorry. What was like the big thing? I mean, that's why I record these sessions as well, right?
Yeah, that's
uh,
no worries.
yeah, I mean, that generally, and then yeah, the sequencing, right? Like that seems to be something you hadn't internalized at all, right? Just
Oh yeah.
understanding. Let's just go through. We still have like 50 minutes. Also, if you have any questions or whatever, feel free to ask right now as well while I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
this.
I have a few, but I'll let you say what you was gonna say with the
No, I'm just gonna clear the jungle so you can really see why the sequencing is so important on the second clear. So yeah, just like answer or like ask some questions and then I'll do it in the meantime here. You can just see.
Okay. Um so like I feel there's something that happens when I play against you know like some junglers are a bit weird, as in like because I don't really know what's going on in the jungle. Let me be honest with you. Like I do my camps, I look for ganks, and then
I mean,
I
it's
like
not much more than that, honestly.
that. Well, from what I watch the videos and stuff, right? And I watch like few junglers, and they've got mad timings on like when stuff respawns and stuff like that. Like that's the advanced part of it, I guess.
hmm
But I think what happens is when I enter a fight and then like I'm playing against some kind of jungler who knows how to like take my camps and stuff like that. So it's basically at the point where I start getting behind because they've capitalized off the fact that maybe they put a ward in my red side and they went and took my blue side. Like I generally can't play after that. Like I basically lose pretty much all of those games because say I try to invade them back, like they know I'm invading them back because they expect that, right? So they'll kill me. Or if I don't invade them back, like I'll try to force a gank, which usually doesn't like work. Not because I'm tilted, but generally just because like I'm under leveled or like they know that I'm coming, so they've warded my stuff. Like I don't know if you know what I mean, but it puts me in like a really weird scenario.
Okay, yeah, but what's your like main question? Like how to deal with that?
Yeah, basically, how do you actually deal with people? How do you play from behind? Like, how do you deal with people taking your camps and then you trying to get back into the game after that?
It's like a very impossible question even to answer in my opinion. Just from the fact that like there's like so many variables in this question, right? Like there's so much lanes that could be impacting this. There's even the jungle matchup alone that could be really. It's very different, right? Generally, I guess one thing that could be helping is just the wards, right? It's something we saw. See, what I just want to, before what I want you to see is this, right? In 5 seconds, this is spawning. So like, if I could be clearing the crab here, and then I could just be walking down and clear these two camps in a row. And if I had done the red, then this camp would be spawning 20 seconds later, which would just suck, you know? So just like, I hope this was like a good visualization for you.
I get it. Like, it's funny because my camps never respawn like that. Like, I don't even know what my camps are respawning half the time. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's, but like Blitz will really give you a really good, will really help you get a good understanding of that.
yeah,
No,
no, it's
but to
actually good.
get back to your question, I guess like you probably don't even really know where to place wards, right? I think I told you to buy the control ward last game, and then you had to sell it because you just didn't place it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I usually like placing a control word here. There's so many, like I think this controller is so good for many reasons. First of all, it never gets cleared. Like when does the enemy jungle ever walk through here? Like anyone in the early game, like basically
Yeah,
never. So this one stands for at least the mid to late game usually. It gives your mid laner a whole side to play to. You know, like all of this is covered, so they can't really get ganked from a whole side, which is super nice for them. And then, of course, it also helps you yourself with getting invaded. You know, like either you might spot people walking through here and when they want to invade you, or they will just walk straight here. Sure, it might maybe sometimes you get invaded like this, but just understand, I guess, towards your question, like if you clear efficiently and whatever, the enemy really won't have too much time to invade you. You know, like the biggest time where you get invaded by good junglers is when you show on like a side of the map for too long, basically. Like only bad junglers will really invade you and actually find you most of the time, unless they're like really ahead and they are trying to kill you. You know, like when they're trying to kill, but that usually isn't the case. You know, even at least Sin or whatever, on their own they should never be able to invade you at any stage of the game unless you're really ahead. You know, like or not invade you and kill you. Sure, they might like invade you and then force you away or whatever, but like most of those
Yeah.
times you can just either you really need to drop if your lanes are not in a position where they can ever help you. Then you just need to drop and just like I guess also depending on if you have gold to spend or not and this kind of stuff. But like if you don't have too much gold to spend, just go on the other side of the map and make something happen there. You know. And if you make
Okay.
something that happen there correctly, or like it actually works out, then you can maybe even take the enemy jungle as well afterwards, you know, and then it's even again. But like really, just I wish I could see like a game of yours where this happened. Like, do you maybe have a game in mind where this has happened, so we can just take a
It
quick look?
it happens so often. I'm pretty sure I could just pick any game.
Yeah, maybe like a
Let me
specific
look.
one where you really feel like it happened. Let's
I'm
just
just
see
gonna
here.
look at my losing games because it always happens when I lose. Like,
Hmm.
trust me, if it anyone who knows, like, if you invade me, like, I'm pretty much just lost that game.
Okay.
That's so I don't even get tilted. I just don't know what to do. I'm just
Hmm.
trying to find one quickly. 1 second.
Yeah, it's like again, like sometimes you might need to respect, sometimes you can punish. It's kind of difficult, but just let me tell you, like most of the time I get invaded, the enemy jungle dies. Like genuinely, even in my main elo, it's just like, especially if you do the Raptors path, you have that extra dark seal, right? So you're just a bit stronger. You have that tempo advantage. So even most strong early game junglers, then he can, they really can't get away with it most of the time. Like they just have a bad timing on it that they will get caught and then you just kill them. Even though Ekko is not the strongest early champ. Someone in
Yeah.
chat saying, "Yeah, when I invade Gross Grant, he is not gonna lie." Yeah, it do be like that.
Yeah, I will definitely in. I'm just checking. There was one. I think I played against Grey, so let me just check this one.
The fake, the one yesterday.
I believe so, but I'm not
Jesus,
confident.
the
'Cause I
Katarina
get.
popped up there.
Oh, then it wasn't that game because we literally just lost to the cat.
Mm.
It was another time. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I can't actually like. I don't really remember the games I play as well. Like I'm kind of like no brain. This is what I said. Another thing,
Mm.
like I'm actually super
Autopiling.
autopilot. Like I like
Mm.
it's the same you say. Like you don't look at the lanes and stuff, right? I probably I would look at the lane if like I was already on my way there because it's like in my eyesight. But like I'm not consciously making like super
You
decisions
know,
to
there's
do.
only one way to fix that, right? Is like start making these conscious decisions. Like put in the effort. Understand that it will be a little bit of an effort early, like the first couple of games you do it, but trust me, it gets so easy. Like all of these habits that you build up, you know, like for a lot of these habits that you do, they're not difficult anymore, right? They really aren't. So you just really need to start doing them, and it will get easy. Like sure, maybe some games you will do it better, other games you will do it worse, but it's like I guess, as I said, a good habit to build, and that's something I stole from like another coach. I guess is just like look after, especially as a jungler. You know, you're playing PVE. Like after every auto attack, just take a quick look, or like after every second auto attack, if you don't want to keep looking at your minimap the whole time. It's kind of annoying in my opinion, but it's like just like really look at the minimap all the time, and then if you see people close to each other on the minimap, just look there. You know, like you want to get that
Yeah.
info. Just get into the habit of wanting to get all the info that you could be getting. Just look at my screen really quick. It's like, could this be a game where you got invaded? Maybe it's another great.
I found a game where I got invaded. I'll show you
Okay,
now.
yeah, but which one?
The only thing is, I don't know if it counts. They invaded me, but I wasn't like we had a ward to know I was invaded, but
Mm-hmm.
um,
I mean,
I
do
was
you
on the
feel
other
like you get
side.
invaded like really early, or when is usually the time? I guess that's another question I
No,
should have asked.
it's always early. Like
Like
if it's late,
on the
I don't
first
care if
clear,
it.
on the first clear, or like after that.
Um, it can be both. So like here on the one that I'm showing my screen, I don't know if you can
Sorry,
see.
sorry, I wasn't.
No worries.
Yeah, okay.
So on this one, uh, it's Belveth, and like to be fair, I should know that Belveth is gonna invade my Raptors.
Yeah, just cover, like cover better, I guess, if that kind of stuff happens.
And for me, when I get invaded, I lose composure. Like
Okay, now
I've
you
been
know that.
invaded.
Now we see her though, right? So now you can just go to her Raptors. Like, just
I
go
don't
to
know
her
what.
bot set. Like, just go to her bot set now. There's like even now you can still do it. Like, just don't clear your whole side. I think if you clear your whole side, you might be too slow. But even then, you could probably like. Okay, I'm curious. What do you do now?
I want to
Because
know as well.
surely you don't go to your top side, right? Like this. You know that it's gone. So you just force the gank on bot, which is okay, you know, like, and you even get something here, so it's not horrible. And now you can still invade. Yeah, see, like, yeah, I mean, you like, this is not a bad game. You even got a kill here, you execute, like, this is completely fine what happened, you know? Like, okay, just pause really quick, and just check the gold. Press tab and press X, see if you're up in gold.
Eh,
See, this was positive for you. Sure, like, okay, she will get some more gold back, but like, your camps are also respawning here. So it's really not the end of the world at all. And you could have, I guess the better thing you could have done 100% is just go to her bot set and then gank bot, you know? Like after your blue, after we see her um, on the Raptors, or on the red buff, you know, you need to know that you have enough time to invade her as well, because like how is she ever gonna go from your top side to her bot side? Like how is she ever gonna manage to do that?
yeah, that's actually true.
Just understand that. And like, yeah, sure, some games this like the path, but it will never happen in your games. Like trust me, in like diamond games, the team will never work
Oh, I tried
anyways.
to.
But like,
Yeah,
just like understand that you can always take that, and unless it's warded and the whole team is moving, you really can't get punished for it. And then imagine you had taken her bot set and then gotten off that successful bot gank. It would have been so good
yeah,
for you. Like
that was it.
it's not even really in her interest to split the map like that, right? Like all people call it splitting the map because it's not a negative thing for anyone, you know. It's just like vertical jungling, basically. It's called, you know. It's like
Yeah,
you're just
but I've heard it
changing it
bad.
up how you clear the camps, basically, and it's actually a good thing if you can play towards bot side most of the time.
I
So
feel like it's so net positive for them against someone like me though, who, as I say, I don't have the knowledge to just like instinctively go and
I
do
mean, now you do.
bot side. Yeah, I mean now from what you're saying, because I was
On,
just freestyle when I went bot. Like it wasn't because I knew to do that. It was just like this is what I see. It looks gankable. I'll go bot.
I mean, also you can just find out this kind of stuff by just like trying it, I guess, you know? Like just maybe next time you get invaded, see like if you can just go into their opposite side of the jungle there and like see if it works out, right? Like maybe sometimes you get punished, other times you won't, but it's like that's how you'll get a feeling for this as well, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, now you're still forcing bot, and like yeah, I guess you die again. This is definitely like this is the kind of game states where it gets difficult, and you probably just need to slow down a bit, you know? And
Yeah.
just like start clearing your jungle actually, so you don't fall too far behind, especially in XP. Like falling behind in XP is what makes games really difficult. You know, falling behind in gold a little bit or whatever is whatever, but like if you fall behind in XP too much, it definitely hurts. And like yeah, see now the Bellev can keep invading you as well. So
Yeah, and that's what this is like the story of my life. Like I'll continue to get invaded after that, and I just
okay,
never
okay,
catch back up.
let me share my screen again really quick and then show you, I guess, just like a bunch of good wards you can place, because I think a big thing that can already cut out a lot of those invades is just placing good early wards, honestly, in certain matchups. Like, understand that there's some matchups that where champions, like, let's say Graves, Jarvan, Kindred, these are like the biggest three, I guess, of champions that can dash over walls at level 2, you know? So against these champs, you need to place a ward on your blue buff. Another like general thing against strong champs, always start red buff. I mean, you start red Raptors anyways, you say, right? So you're basically starting red buff. Like, especially with the Raptors path, it should be really difficult to get invaded. It really should be. Like, people
Yeah.
don't have good timings to invade you. So, yeah, wait. One word I like to place is this one. So at like 115, usually, like when it's 115, I will place a ward here. So it will cover this entrance and this one as well. So like, let's say the Graves or the Kindred or the Jarvan, they could all decide to do red buff and then just go over this wall and invade you, right? And then if they do that, you have full info. You just go to their side. It's as easy as that. It really is. And then I guess another thing against junglers, like, let me just place word really quick. So like something like this. Most of the time they will just go over here and you will easily spot it.
What was that? 115.
Yeah, 115 is like the optimal timing, I guess. So like now you can see I'm just gonna be at the Raptors right as they spawn, basically. If you do it 5 seconds earlier or whatever, it's really whatever. And then, of course, against other junglers that might late invade you. Like, let's say, okay, Olaf jungle is really not a thing, but I don't know. I honestly, personally, never really get late invaded, but maybe Belveth or whatever. Like, these junglers that maybe want to start at your Raptors, just place a word here, you know? Like, just word here, and then you're like, you will see them walking in from here already, and then your mid laner can always move, and they will get punished, you know? So it's as easy as that, really. And then maybe sometimes you could even place, like, this is something I personally don't really do a lot, but, like, you could even place aggressive wards, right? Like, just placing a ward in the enemy buffs and then just getting info anyways, and then you also know if you're not getting invaded, plus you know where they start 100%. So...
Yeah, I do that. I only do that when I see them invade, and, like, I know exactly where they are. I kind of get scared to walk through the jungle unless I know where they are.
Yeah, I mean, just, like, walk with your team, I guess. You don't need to do it alone, but...
Yeah. Good point.
Alright, I mean, if you have any more questions, you can ask me, but we're also at, like, the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, we could do an hour whenever you're next free again, because
sure.
The only reason I couldn't do today, I just got a basketball match.
Yeah, we could also just, like, maybe do, like, a game review then, to just, like, fully... It's up to you, really, but, like... to just go more into detail with some of the stuff, and then in game reviews it's much easier to see like the cause and effect of things, right? Like that happened, maybe some pathing decisions you made, and then seeing like how that played out in the rest of the game, or like if you have time for a 2-hour session, we can also just do like both, of course. So yeah, just let me know, I guess.
No, it's been very helpful just telling me stuff that I kind of didn't even know about. So that'll be good. I'll try and implement what we've done today, and then probably get back to you. We could do like a game review or something.
All right.
But yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no worries. As I said, I hope it really helped, and you can always hit me up on Discord as well, or whatever, if you have any more questions.
Yeah, definitely will do. I'll be in your Discord and stuff too. So cool.
All right.